The CSIR displayed the monster to the public. Before you think of Frankenstein, the monster is a robot that we'll show you right now. A very fancy robot, quite small, but weighing about 80 kilograms. It's designed to improve safety in mines by doing inspections after blasting or geological event or any other time when a mine shaft may be unsafe. To discuss, we're joined by Dr. Shaniel Davrahj, who is the CSIR Principal Engineer. Thank you for being with us. Let's start. We're going to show you a video of how this monster works. But first, tell me the rationale. So this is designed to save lives.
Yes. This is designed to aid the workforce during the early entry examination process. And for the viewers who aren't familiar with that, it's basically a process that involves surveying the surrounding rock structure to identify any hazardous areas for loose rock. We do this using currently manual methods. We need a skilled person who uses basically an extended crowbar to firstly visually identify the loose rock and to tap on the rock to determine whether it's loose or not. So this robot now is equipped with a range of sensors to provide a 3D map that basically highlights any anomalies such as the loose hanging rock using thermal vision in particular. And the outcome of this robot is basically to assist the workforce in identifying the hazardous areas before they even enter the environment. Okay,
so right now people have been going in and checking, prodding around the rock. Yes. So this is going to really help. But let's play that video and take us step by step through what we're seeing here. We can start that video. Sure. Seems to be stuck, but what it should show you, there we go, is the monster sort of moving along the ground. So this is remote controlled, right?
It was developed to be both remote controlled and work autonomously, meaning that it requires very little to no human input. And that's why the range of sensors was put on this robot.
So here using the flippers to climb the stope at approximately 27 degrees. So this can climb uphill, and that actually helps it.
In fact, that's where the name comes from. It's actually quite effortless to traverse up these steep inclines. Current machinery are quite limited to about 15 degrees.
So when the monster's up there close to the rock, you can take pictures, you can check seismically if there's potential rockfalls about to take place.
Yes, you generate a 3D map of the environment.
All right, so now horizontal, I think we're on the descent now, back down, back to humanity.
That's correct. What you're seeing now is the very small turning circle. Mobility of mechanized machines is a limitation, and in this you can see it's it's a strength of the platform.
Is that why we're still using humans right now? Because the robotics thus far have just been too big, or is this something completely unique?
This is unique in the sense that the size of it is geared towards low-profile mining or ultra-low-profile mining. And with respect to humans going into the area, the reason that we use them is because they are very diverse in terms of they're able to react to the environment. For a robot to do that, we have to identify and anticipate these situations prior to the
So we had a situation earlier in the year where a whole bunch of miners were stuck down a shaft, and they were saying the conditions were very precarious to get to them. So in this sort of situation, you'd send the robot first as your front runner.
Yes, first you'd need to identify where the hazards are before you would send any workforce in.
Now, when people look at this, we'll move back to, there we go, the static of the monster. This is great news, so it's going to help safety, it's going to save lives, potentially. But automation, possibly a threat. Miners are worried about losing their jobs. Is the next robot going to be doing the cutting and hewing that people are doing?
Well, it's quite interesting because on my way here, I didn't know where this place was. And I used my GPS, and a strange lady told me turn left, and I turned left, and she told me turn right, and I turned right.
Yeah.
Now, that's a positive application of technology. Technology shouldn't be seen as just replacing jobs. It's there to enhance the ability of humans to perform a certain task. Specifically with mining, the deeper we go, the more dangerous it's going to get. And therefore, we need to put in machines as opposed to just having risk human lives all the time.
And we have notoriously deep mines, and we've seen fatalities
the deepest in the world,
this year.
Correct.
Yeah. So CSIR supported by government. Who funds this? Who buys it? What happens now?
So currently this platform, it was a project by a number of groups within the CSIR, funded internally by the CSIR, and then the next step would be to obtain some funding from industry to take it further.
All right, well, thank you for coming in and talking about the monster. We wanted to have it walking around the studio, but apparently that's a little bit difficult, and it's very, very heavy, actually, even though it looks light and limble. Thank you very much. That was the engineer from the CSIR, Dr. Shaniel Davrahj.